He got into a top global university, but the boy wants to apply for a dishwashing job. This puzzled the restaurant owner, because he had never seen before that someone would turn down London University just to do dirty work. Give it up college? Why? It's just, I'm no longer interested. To find out his real purpose. But when he heard the boy was from a poor village in Iceland and saw the boy's rough hands from farming, the older softened and asked no more. When can I start working? But it wasn't as simple as he thought. After hiring the foreign boy, the entire shop began to operate. All the staff became busy, but the new dishwasher was distracted. Until everyone had finished their shifts, he still hadn't seen that person again. The girl he coincidentally met. He still hadn't seen her. He finally got his wish.
So you are the foreigner my father has been talking about.
He can't grasp strange tongues. The girl ignored him thereafter. He sadly returned to work to talk to her again. He started learning their language from his boss. Even after work back home, he would sit and study. Once he could say basic phrases, he seemed braver to talk to her again. However, he waited another week before he saw the girl. She is also a University of London student. She only appeared on weekends, but each time she seemed to avoid him intentionally. She even placed the dirty dishes across from him. This left the boy with little chance to speak. Yet she noticed the boy's gaze. She came straight to the yard, sitting across from him. Curiously, she asked,
"Why study? Aren't you doing politics and economics?"
"Not into it." "What do you like then?" The boy shyly claimed he could sing, but when the girl asked him to sing, he shyly refused. She had to leave it at that. Soon, he got another chance. The guests that day ate but stayed. Mai anxiously hoped to leave soon, but the boss kept her to close, so she pitifully asked everyone for help, but the old staff wished to leave early. Mai's face lit up with joy. In the weeks that followed, Chris would quietly be the last to leave. But every time he saw Mai change, he felt more and more confused because Mai began to learn to dress and often went out for fun early. However, on this day, Chris was studying Japanese when he encountered Mai on the street.
"You're learning Japanese, right? Oh, this is Malik, my boyfriend."
"Malik, nice to meet you." He realized he had missed many chances. Chris slipped on sadly as they walked further away. The Japanese book in hand felt dull. On a rainy day weeks later, Mai and Malik's shadows reflected in the restaurant's window. They shared a close kiss, and everyone in the restaurant caught sight of the scene. Chris stayed as far from the window as he could, so he quietly entered the bathroom. But the boss, being Mai's father, was extremely angry. During that lunchtime, Mai leaned against the wall, lost in thought. "Do you have a girlfriend?"
"Yes. Have you talked a lot with her father?"
Her dad, prepping ingredients nearby, got furious right away. He had something to discuss with his daughter alone. He didn't expect this chat to last into the night. Mai ended up in tears. She pounded weakly on the door with her fists. Chris sat outside, worried and unsure of how to comfort her. He remained stuck there. "Tokyo? No, Hiroshima." Mai didn't say anything more. She silently walked out the door. However, in contrast, the restaurant owner Takahashi joked with the staff as if nothing had happened. He even shared his hobby with the downcast Chris. That man rained some subtle confessions in verse. The trout on the shore pretends it can't speak Japanese. Chris couldn't grasp the poem's confessions, yet he could feel the boss's joy amidst his suffering. The boss held an event for the first time since opening his shop in London 25 years ago. He hoped each employee could write a line as well. But just when everyone was enjoying themselves, Mai's boyfriend walked into the restaurant. The owner quickly looked serious, then he politely bowed. Then he started chatting with them. Their words were too soft. Chris also had to avoid, but he knew Faye had given him another chance, so he started trying to write a confessional phrase in Japanese. Yet by the next day, he wrote nothing. Instead, his two college roommates came for dinner. He thought they could chat and laugh like before, but when they heard Chris wasn't going back to school and planned to be a dishwasher for life, they mused, "Maybe we should all be dishwashers. I must go wash dishes." Mai heard their entire conversation. Then Mai placed the dishes she needed to wash beside Chris for the first time. Then she reached out to comfort Chris, whose self-esteem was hurt, but she was disturbed by the server, Joe Tong, so they couldn't say a word. But from her gentle gaze, Chris felt a sense of solace. Several weeks later, that day, the London corner eatery was lively, but the drunken owner Takahashi. But Mai knew, because only those who had birthday could sing it. Chris has sung in a choir in Iceland.
"I'm not that good at singing."
"Just say one."
"The song from Iceland."
Once everyone fell silent, Chris shyly composed himself, looking back at the old days.
"They are precious to me."
They linger in my heart every moment. That's why I can never forget. As the song ended, the crowd erupted in thunderous applause. Chris beamed with a radiant smile. Little did he know, Mai, who loves music, was deeply captivated by his charm. While Chris returned to the kitchen to do the dishes, Mai approached. She set down her plate and gazed into Chris' eyes, just like their first chat. But this time Chris wasn't shy. His eyes brimmed with desire for Mai. Mai felt a warmth. Blushing, she happily got to work. At night, Chris thought about many things in bed. He tossed and turned, unable to sleep. Before the alarm could ring, before the sky changed colors, he set off early for the restaurant. When Mr. Takahashi came to the kitchen to prep ingredients, he said earnestly, "Mr. Takahashi, if possible, can I come here in the mornings?" To hone cooking skills and be a chef, Chris understood that to be with Mai openly, he had to win over her father. Of course, Chris. Thank you. That noon, employee job told found a note from Chris. The boss was shocked when he saw it.
The sea is calm, but the waves come from the mountains. They invade my mind. It's touching. You are a great poet.
After receiving the boss' praise, Chris felt a surge of joy in his heart. He studied Japanese harder in his free time because he had fallen for all of Mai. Thanks to his college memory edge, he had picked up a lot of words, yet the week's time quietly slipped away. The first thing Mai did when she finished school was to look for Chris.
I heard you want to be a chef. I just want to see if I can do it. So who will taste and judge it? Do you want me to be the judge?
Yes. They talked, locking eyes warmly for a long while. There was a hint of feeling in the air. This made Chris even more determined to become a chef. After practicing hard every day, he could now make traditional Japanese food. That day, this earned him a gift. To Chris, a gentle soul. Chris put on the chef's uniform that the boss was proud of, signifying that he had gained the boss' approval. He wanted to try new recipes. Chowtao mentioned sakura is Japan's national flower, so he bought some clams with cherry pits at the seafood market. After washing the clams, they went through several steps. He created a dish that fused Japanese techniques with